Do you guys ever wonder about that meta AI or any AI shit out there and how much you can trust it? And what happens if you call it out? Can you call it out? Can you call it out on a lie? I'm sorry, not lie, but more like misinformation or fake. I was talking to a really good friend of mine about this the other night. In fact, he was the one, and I'll tag him in this, that showed this to me, and I was like, oh my god, we've got to talk about it. Now, a little backstory. He and I like to deep dive into the lies that we've been told throughout our entire lives in the school system, religion. Former member of the Mormon Church. It's based on lies. So the lies that came out about the food guide pyramid and how it was just a scheme to make money, yeah, that's the truth. But let's start with something simple that we grew up with, at least if you're Gen X, Crisco oil. This is going to be good. So here he says, origins of Crisco oil. And as you can see here, if you want to read, that Meta goes on saying, this is the origins. This is, what do? We believe this shit. And this is where he calls them out. That's wrong. It was an engine lubricant before bought it. And then Meta's like, you are correct that Crisco was originally developed as an engine lubricant, not a food product. So already he's called out Meta, and Meta is just like, you're right. And what does it say here at the bottom? Thank you for correcting me. I strive to provide accurate information. Did he just change the course of misinformation? But because my friend here is a genius, he keeps going. Crisco was used for factory machinery before it was used for cooking. Is there any relevance to this? And if you want to pause to read, it just goes on industrial roots, chemical composition, marketing and rebranding, food technology, all this shit. Do you remember those commercials in the 80s and 90s about Crisco? My mom used Crisco. When this happened, I told my sister about Crisco, and her response was, well, if it hasn't killed me yet, oh my gosh. I mean, this is how we are just being programmed. Now, I'm posting this whole thing in case you guys are curious about what we're being brainwashed with, the fact that we're putting this crap in our bodies. Don't even get me started with the sawdust, the roach shit that's being put on apples to make them shiny. I could go on, but if you want to see where this goes, here it is. So then he's like, alright, let's keep going. So, nuts and seed oils fall under the same scrutiny as well. Nut oil, I believe, was originally created from a fuel that was used for diesel engines. My friend also here is a mechanic, so he knows a lot about, oils and engines and shit like that. So here we go. Another great point, Meta says. Yes, you're correct again. Some nut and seed oil. I mean, come on. This whole thing was just blowing my mind because here we have this technology, this AI technology, and they say the AI is always continuing, to learn from us, and eventually it'll take over. Maybe we shouldn't be feeding the machine. I don't know. This is all just education right now. Again, if you guys like information and you want to know about seed oils that you're probably using thinking that they're healthy or whatever, you can also check this out too. It's just, information that we're putting out there that maybe Meta didn't know about, or did it? I don't know. Who's behind all this shit? But I just crack up with Meta's response. You're welcome. It's great that you were thinking critically and had a good instinct about the topics. It's always okay to question, seek clarification. That's how we learn. And I'm sure AI is trying to learn us, wait till they take over the world. But this is just so interesting to me that he, just having this interaction with AI, how at one point they were, telling him one thing and then he calls them out and dun dun dun. Oh wait, they were like, yeah, you are right, smart human. This is what happens when we take these deep, dark dives into reality, truth, as opposed to what the media wants us to believe, what commercials want us to believe, so we buy their products. It goes on, and I'm constantly, you guys wouldn't believe, all the stuff that I've cut out from my diet just because it's just how can you trust anything? I see people all the time at my job just eating, Fat Boys at work because it's hot and popsicles, and I'm just like, yeah, no thanks, don't want any of it. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take some organic fruit. If it is organic, right? How do I know, right? I'm no better than anybody else. But I'll just take mine, put it in the freezer, and that's my popsicle. I'll just eat frozen fruit while it's stifling hot, and maybe ask, more questions about what is real.